aggression coming out on the ramp side of the map, and it will see Liquid slowing down a little bit, but they're about to get pressured in, and Junior, the man we were just talking about, has laid them to waste. 3 quick kills with the USB. It's only Nitro that bounces back with his P250 by his side. Won't be getting a second. Island in amongst the liquid fire of the Molotovs is clumped together. Floppy and JT. Fang, Grim just behind them, but they're going to get swarmed. This is where the AK should prevail, but Fang says no. 2 kills with him and Floppy alongside him. 2-play-3, although Grim is exceptionally low. But Shox is making moves round the back. The bomb has been planted. He needed OC to survive a bit longer, but he is sneaking around like a coiled viper, ready to spring into action. And Junior and Floppy have no idea. The only downside for Shox is that the bomb is not planted for his position, but he doesn't even have to give his spot away right now. Now he's hearing they're tickling the bomb. First frag down, and there is Shox. Pure experience. Stacked me, Blower. They stack B. If they end up getting hit on A, they just save their weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the fact that Fang is low. However, I don't know if it's confirmed damage, but Liquid, they're limping on 2 players, and that's going to be Floppy. Going hard through on ramp, takes 2 players, does a lot of damage onto OC as well. This round falls in the with Complexity. The gamble stack seems to be working out, but Naf keeps himself alive and drops the nade downtown onto the back of Fang's head. Both remaining players are weakened. Naf's position compromised, but still spins around. I thought Junior might get the shank, but instead he's took a bullet to the head.
Not expecting Naf to come walking out from the smoke and even getting caught with a knife out in his hand. And this is all after the work being put in by Floppy and Junior. What a nade onto Grim. Oh, that must have just been a jump scare for Junior. It's so unfortunate.
But it's about utility. If a flash comes over, similar to what we saw in a previous round in Jaguar with that Molotov, it completely dissects and crushes their stats, but they've gone in for their own counter flash. It's worked out beautifully now for Complexity. 3 kills in quick succession, puts Naf into a 1-on-4. He may have clutched earlier, but this was way too tall a task. Oh, Grim's position just gets out into the open, nearly gets picked off. Nitro pressing the button, pushing in. There's a team kill. Unleash takes down his IGL, and now Junior goes from strength to strength as he carves a path through the oncoming T's. Fang, able to survive, pushes back into the donut, and not only that, but takes the bomb with him. OC's life is deemed forfeit, and Shox, who's gone unseen so far, has stealth going in his favor, has now been compromised at the cost of Fang's life, has time to now traverse back over on the B side, put that poison, that venom into Complexity before. Do they have the antidote this time around? Molly into the cave. Now he has to show his hand. Grenade out. Here comes Shox. They're trying to go in the defuse in the smoke. Not required because JT, the perfect bodyguard,
be expecting to hit those shots. He went into the bomb site trying to avoid the smoke, and here comes a faster play from Liquid. They just have the pistols to work with here, as Shox will take down his own teammate, and it's gonna be an easy mop-up for JT and Floppy. We have a Leech looking for any aggression towards mid from the CTs, and JT being, again, proactive. Flashbang in hands of Junior, gonna pop. That's gonna be JT looking to take the fight, trying to go for the wall back. He's running out of bullets, but somehow he finds 3! How does he find 3 kills? And the Leash left alone now in a 1 versus 5. He will find Junior, but JT gets away with bloody murder. What the hell was that, Vince? That was an ace as well. Towards the A bomb site, 2 players lying wait. Junior, AWP in hand, and he's got Grim as well.
Oh, Elise is just completely manhandled him with the scout, and now the T's spill out onto the site, makes Grim's situation so much more dire. And the Leech picks up the second. The second they lose the first player, everything comes apart at the seams. The Fang is trying to put it together, stitch back up the weakened Complexity CT side. JT and Floppy, last man standing. But it's going to be Floppy that connects first. Bomb spilled out, have to come pick this one up. Belige is still alive, he started to round off, and he's still very much in this. OC with the AWP, his weapon of choice, makes it work. Flash out, tries to go into the peak alongside Elige, and Elige gets his 3K with the scout. Liquid steal this round away from Complexity.
The double op setup, which sometimes can work, but if you're going to get the bomb, you know, if you have to go for the retakes, it gets very, very grim indeed. So I do wonder how this one's going to play out still.
I was curious how much we were going to see this as the latter rounds came to fruition. And now Liquid are changing up the pace, but there is the second AWP. Grim nails Nitro.
The timing. Brings out a Molotov the worst time possible, and Shocks, he reads perfectly, waits for Grim to peek, and he will find his head. So bringing it down to equilibrium here, all Liquid, 3 versus 3. The smokes will be deployed. But it's not great. Fang trying to find one he should. In fact, it's going to be JT to find Shocks. Flash is going to blind Fang, but there's nothing he can do. Down to OC, 1v3. JT making a sound. And OC finds Floppy. He knows where the second player is. He knows where the third is as well. And OC, he's going for the clutch here.
Has no time to mess about. Now going to be getting in close. Down to 14 HP. Surely this round is now too far gone. And no idea as to where that second pesky CT player resides. Oh, the shot is criminal onto JT. But Fang knows he just has to wait. This round is over. There's not enough time. And to add insult to injury, OC dies afterwards. So Complexity get their 8th. Yeah, he's had a phenomenal game. That 3K comes to mind on the double doors, pretty much shuts that down by himself. Flashes over. Junior barely affected by that, though. And although the FAMAS does a lot of damage, it doesn't claim any kills. Floppy can go for the wall bang. Doesn't connect really anything.
It's
so the plant still comes down. Yeah, behind the pillar. They know that their back is vulnerable, or at least should realize this, because Fang is coming in. He's sneaking his way around the side and pivots into a leash. And now they realize they're getting encircled from so many different directions. They can't fully focus Shocks, and here's Galil will sing. Grenade is good, but Shocks comes in for 3, and now Fang tries so hard, so desperately, but with 15 HP on Nitro and 6 on OC, they secure their 7th round. He is a lone survivor, Nitro. The question really falls down to how many kills, if any, can he pick up on the cross. There's one, still alive, still healthy. And him just staying alive at this point is putting more pressure on the rest of Tees to get up in there. But Grim, instantly decapitating a Liege, takes control over Temple, while Naf and OC are waiting the other side. Temple becomes Grim's final resting place, and now Floppy 1-on-3. They push into him with the Glock. It's tailor-made for these angles. The Shocks from the side will deny any heroics. Liquid tie us back up. Looking to plunder the site one more time, our Complexity. They have the superior firepower, all things considered, but OC doesn't seem to care. He hasn't read the script. He's making his own moves, his own waves to crash against Complexity. It won't deny the bomb plant, though. That incendiary will do significant damage if JT doesn't reposition, which he has from behind the pillar, out into the open. From the frying pan into the fire, but he shows himself quite the formidable adversary as he frags left and right. Naf, his last player standing, goes in for the spray, tags Floppy down to 20, but Complexity's full force has proved to be successful. But in doing all of this, they've pretty much bypassed any A defense. The only defense they have is in Donut, and that's Nitro that's just joining the site now, and he's instantly eradicated by Fang. Now they need OC to go above and beyond. There's a slight gap in the smoke, but he can't fully exploit this. And he knows he has to stay alive for the rest of his teammates to get up close. Naf now joins the fray. Bit of damage done, but more flirtation than anything else. But now he does seal the deal alongside OC, who goes in for 2. Sprays down in a line. They know where Floppy is, but he's had so much impact. So many massive rounds in this game. Already 1 frag picked up to his name. Can he get 2 more? No, Shock shuts him down. And Liquid make their fairly lackluster buy with such little utility work.
Finally, there we go. Slowly, they know the timing. Nitro is going to shift its attention towards the A bomb side, and OC once more has arrived. As the Leash finds Fang in the meantime, it's a 2v4. Grim bleeding, hemorrhaging as he's walking in towards the bomb site.
Has to apply the pressure, and maybe Nitro is the man to snuff him out. What? Not Nitro missing a sitter, and Floppy spins into 2 headshots. Had no right to pull that off. And with about 11 seconds left, the bomb has been securely planted. Floppy goes in again as Elise peeks out by himself. Liquid are jumping into the fire like lemmings. And maybe, just maybe, Shocks can wind back the years and pull off another clutch. And if he doesn't, his team's in real trouble. Shocks sprays down and digs them out of that ditch. But Liquid seems so content to peek 1 by 1. He's a man that is very self-aware. He'll realize this. Maybe that's why OC is positioning now with the AWP. And so far, so good, but he's missed his shot, and there's no punish. There it is. Finally comes in from Temple, making sure that OC's life is not in vain. Shot lands onto Junior. 16 HP remains for him. Loads of impact. And if he peeks out, he may find Floppy. Floppy's past him, but he knows. He's heard JT. He knows the plant's coming down. There's one spray, there's two. Bomb gets denied, and Junior in no position to fight this. And in all honesty, with 45 seconds left, he may be thinking about saving, but may not be afforded that luxury, because here comes Naf. Only one bullet required. 11-11.
Nitro slowly peeling back towards Donut. Bit of an off angle.
Getting one. They line up, he'll spray them down. Very fortunate to get all three of them. They did run into his bullets and tank them to the forehead. Would not recommend that at home. And now JT, who was weakened, has been finished off. Liquid take the lead.
Mechanics is supposed to Floppy, but Floppy for me is the best player in this team. And is showing why. OC, in the meantime, however, is going to find JT. A lot of aggression towards mid here from the CTs. Nitro chiming in with a frag of his own, and OC is trapped inside of his smoke, but he's got bodyguards around as Grim is getting peppered from all directions. A flash will pop as well. OC inside of the smoke, tossing in a flash, enabling Elige to get an easy kill as well. And this is just fallen apart for Complexity. And for Liquid, sure, the couple of rounds they won back-to-back were a little close, but right now, they are starting to come alive. Junior left now, 1 versus 4. And Nitro and OC are kind of low, but this is going to require a gargantuan effort from Junior.
Especially as two players are on the side. So even if he gets one, which he doesn't, there was a backup play there. There were pincer movements coming in across the map.
Liquid seem to have Complexity's number. OC is being very brave. The scope is going to be heard. Perhaps not. Oh, it's a missed shot though, but Napla is there to save the day. That's a bomb taken down as well as Fang. However, will find Elige at the entrance of A. The bomb has been spotted, and that means it's a time for Nitro to deliver here. Are they going to check the angle? Is the question. They won't, and Nitro is going to find Grim.
Fang knows where he is, but may not realize there's a second player there in the form of Naf. Nitro loses his head. Fang does know. But more importantly than knowing, he makes something of it. He takes his chance and runs. 5 HP left, but he has JT alongside. It seems like Liquid are at least toying with the idea of backing out, but because time is so scarce, they will have to fully commit to this A site. OC is going for it. Full faith in himself, his own abilities, and Fang comes in with a 4K and keeps Complexity alive. They have counter-flash, anti-flash positions from Shox, who's hiding in the angle. OC can take the shot, then fall back. And if they feel compelled to do so, there's a second player there. Shox comes in, though, and proving he doesn't need any backup. Spraying down 2, and Junior's position is compromised. They know exactly where he is. The only thing working in his favor is he has the bomb, but he's lost so much health through that smoke. 42 remains. He's being pincered from the B site on a leash. 3 players coming from mid. And it feels like he's living on borrowed time, and they're about to collect in full. Surprised that shot didn't land, but it doesn't make any difference. Naf shuts him down. This is a vintage Shox performance. We've seen clutches, we've seen huge moments, big sprays. He's been so present, so prevalent in this map. And now Complexity on a rough buy have lost 2 players to OC's hands as he executes Grim and Floppy. And Complexity now circling the drain on Ancient. Mac 10 for JT. He has been such a powerhouse, such a huge player, but he's about to get swung in, and that's the bomb that goes down with him as well. Meanwhile, in mid, Elige makes short work of Junior, and although Fang posts up a last stand of 1 frag, even if he gets a second, which he won't, it won't matter a great deal. Liquid get it done on Ancient. They are 1 map away from eliminating Complexity.
Floppy, however, spots Elige. His spider sense tinkling in it. That's going to send Elige scurrying back up towards mid, leaving Shox alone. Buys Lonesome on the B bomb site. Backup is arriving, but he's got to hold the line. He's going to find one. Looking for the second kill, which will not come. Caught reloading, but a jig is up as Elige has arrived.
Exactly, and Shox, because he survived so long, has bought up so much time. Look at all these CTs just exploding onto the site, washing it away. P250 could do a bit of damage, and that smoke could very well afford him a couple more options now. But it doesn't land exactly where he was hoping for. There's a huge gap in that smoke. They can push around. Good shot onto Elige, but Nitro proving there is indeed strength in numbers.
But not bonus round, rather the bonus round weapon, so to speak. Shox, though, gets taken down. Okay. Floppy and JT teaming up together to find the Frenchman. And this is very, very, very aggressive from Liquid. I'm not necessarily a big fan of this. Elige And Nav, however, trying to bring things back within the realms of normalcy, but it's still a 3v2, Vince. Against just barely pistols, right? We saw a couple of Glocks in play. Nav, timing is everything, fortunately. We'll see the players running out. The MP9 not able to quite confirm the kills. And all of a sudden, it's a 2v2 bomb getting planted. This is already a win for Complexity.
And Nitro needs to make sure he doesn't get taken down because Elite is only on 23 HP. He's gone down to Junior. This is winnable. It has been won by Complexity. It was 2 Deagles and basically P250s.
There's a position that Complexity should really be clearing out. Fang looking the wrong way, looking for the boots. As Nap's going to find a kill on a JT, and that is a timing for Elite to strike, and they will shut it down, Vince. That was Complexity's opportunity to break the economy after all the work they did in round number 3.
Complexity looking to explode out onto the side momentarily. We have seen them lose from an easier position than this, though. Should be highlighted. And Fang and Floppy looking to try and make that nightmare a reality once more. 2-on-2. Considering that OC has the AWP, he needs Leech to have impact, and Leech has done just that as he splatters Fang. But Floppy is now alive. The bastion of hope from the first map. The best player on Complexity. Had a chance, a narrow chance, and has had another one. The Deagle may prevail against the AWP in this kind of a position right now because he can consistently rattle off shots, and one of them rattles the dome of OC. Complexity get their second. What a scrappy game this has been, these opening 6 rounds. We thought it would be nerve-wracking. You can understand why. There's so much on the table for these two teams. But even then, Complexity is still fighting for this one, and Nitro can only muster up 1 frag. There's 20 seconds. They can try and push in. Smoke will keep the leash from having any more impact. And now Grim picks up the bomb. The B site is clear from Floppy's hands, and there should be enough time for this plant. There will indeed. This round's not done just yet. It looked like Complexity may very well go for a save, but then the trade went in their favor before Ali shows his hand and snatches away the life of Floppy and Grim. They don't have to pull the trigger just yet. They're waiting and anticipating that a player such as OC may go looking for something to try and counteract. Had the right idea, but was fully flashed. And now Nitro has to hold the line against multiple angles. Nitro passes the first test, tries to spray in for the second, and Shox is there through the smoke. But it's Grim. It wasn't the bomb carrier. The bomb gets planted down, but Shox just pushes straight through the smoke. The audacity of the man. Just to rush there and take the fight to Complexity. And with the smoke down on the scaffolding, this is going to be that much more difficult. Shox has removed the head of Floppy. Liquid pull off. What was that, a 2v4? Just over a minute on the clock. The leash is looking to try and make some moves. Won't feel too compelled to try and shake down any of these oncoming players, but Fang shattering a leash. Looking to subdue this site one more time. Nap with flashes out, spots 2 players. Smoke will be forthcoming as he tries to lock this one down, but it goes underneath.
Oh, this is weird. This is so strange. They don't know where Nitro is. Floppy's calling it, is saying it. The B bomb side is clear. They're going to be legging it, and Floppy falls. And now Nitro, he's aware they're going to be rotating back towards B. But what do Complexity do?
With the AWP, Flick doesn't connect, but information still gathered. Naf up on the boxes, can just put an end to this round, and he ties it up emphatically with the A1S.
But overall, they've been very proactive on the CD side, and I'd rather go for that. Slowly creeping, crawling, using the T-smoke. They are making their way up here, but Elish is going to find one, and he needs to be helped out here. But JT and Floppy, they're going to pounce on in, finding both the kills, and that means player advantage here for the T's. That being said, OC has arrived. He's going to establish a bit of equilibrium in the server. And bear in mind, these are, again, just the pistols. We have Floppy with some Kevra, but that's about it. And sure, we should be able to maybe retrieve the rifles here, but it is still heavily favoring Liquid.
And now he will go head-to-head with Naf. Already, though, nearly half of this fuse on the bomb has ticked away. This is starting to get a little bit worrisome for Liquid. Shox is going to have impact again, or have, maybe not. OC with his AWP puts it to use, but Junior point-blank range with a Tech 9 takes off the head. First spray is good, but there is Shox again. He's looking for the bomb. Did that extra time just wreck him? Is he got enough time for this right now? I don't think so. The extra lap around the site costs them the round, and Complexity win with a terrible buy.
There are quite a few holes here. Quite a few holes for the NA side. The defending NA side, to be precise.
Well, let's see if they can shore them up in time. They don't hemorrhage 2 more rounds. This is more like it. this is the frustrating thing about watching this Liquid CT side. Like, they have rounds when there's rifles, they just shut it down. They look so comfortable, and then when it's Deagles and P250s, it's like the brain goes out the window.
Listen, if I'm...
You can see Grim was just about to look away. May have got a jump scare from that one. Tickles the ball, trying to phase them out, but Nitro holds his line, holds his reserve, and his nerve. Smokes out to the side. Shocks, wiggling his way around the back, is lurking on the prowl. This is now a race against time, and Complexity don't even know they're in the race. A Leech, though, through the smoke has shattered JT and maybe shattered the dreams of this round, and Shocks is about to show his hand. There's one. He has been so on point with these plays throughout the entire series. They line up, and OC gets a collateral.
That's on foot. Look at the bomb. It just drops behind the side, and now they have to run in behind. And then, of course, OC down with the smoke, and the stars and the bodies align. The stars' Complexity getting taken down with the one. Another half buy coming out, Vince. Just the hero AK-47. Junior going to be leading the pack. There's going to be OC. Oh, a whipped shot.
Oh, 2 whiff shots. And that allows him a bit of safe fashion. I say that, but Naf, the man that you just highlighted on 14 and 4, has now escalated himself to 16, and Shocks is right alongside him. He's had such a good series.
Good old Naf. JT. The amount of utility that's been lobbed in his direction. It's like...
I think they still have this powerhouse half on at least 11 rounds. Everyone's pulling their weight in terms of fragging. Elite is now catapulted himself to 15. Nitro's on there with 10, who's joining his teammate up on ramp. And Elite is trying to pinch around the back of them. JT, though, makes short work of Nitro before Elite sprays down 2. And there's a third player in OC, but he has missed his shot. Realizing they're a player to the good, no reason for him to overextend and even give Complexity a sniff into this round.
Biding his time, Floppy. He's making sure there's no flank taking place, and he sees no one, and now Shocks. He's got an internal clock inside him ticking. He knows when it's time to pounce.
This is just pure experience. Great game sense coming together in perfect harmony, but he needs the rest of his teams to survive. He has to let the rest of his team survive, and they do. Just about by the skin of their teeth. Naf on 19. If they both died there on the site, Shocks' flank basically is for naught. They've seen that script. They've read it multiple times over.
And they have a player waiting outside of B. They're making a lot of noise here, and Floppy's going to come poking and prodding. The flashbang is good, and Elite will fall, and now they know it's going to be the B hit, and that means Liquid have to make a bit of haste.
And Grim has to have so much impact. There's one. Oh, the bomb's gone down as well, but Naf is quick to repair and isolate the rest of these CTs. JT and Junior, they were going so above and beyond, and Junior lands another headshot.
So far, he hasn't shown himself. Shocks dropping down. Flop finds the timing. Great flash from Grim, able to find Shoxy, but OC will trade immediately. Bear in mind, this is the bonus round for Complexity.
Liquid still in thoughts. That smoke vanished to the nether realm as it just rolls away. Oh, OC's about to roll some heads, though, and it's Junior that walks into his crosshair. They completely bit down on this fake and this ruse, and now with 18 seconds, the site is clear. It's completely available for business. Complexity is still on A side. They may be thinking about saving some of these guns. Yes, they're in a bit of a bonus situation.
You guys can rotate towards A, so wait to the final second, gets the kill, and immediately they just leg it to the B bomb site, and Complexity was so far away from the bomb site, they're like, you know what, yeah, 4v3. They do have the weaponry advantage right now.
Yes, firmly in favor of them.
Oh, Junior.
Trying to make something out of this one, though, but Junior gets caught in an awkward position. He's just dodging bullets in the smoke like Neo, but eventually, in this version, Agent Smith does come out ahead, and it's OC that whips off the Aviators. Floppy has the reflection of a Molotov in his. He tries to bypass it. Another molly behind it. Frag not forthcoming. A lot of damage on towards Naf, but it's not going to be enough for the kill. But now Grim will pick up the pieces. Try and run home with them. Fang on 27. Up against Naf, but he's nowhere near. And Naf's going to have enough time, more than enough time for this plant, and to vacate the premises, and to pick and choose where he comes in from. But Fang may get the drop on him. It's a FAMAS up against the AK-47, and it could all come down to timing. Fang's not sure where Naf is currently residing. I think his ankle's just been spotted, and Naf will slay him down. Liquid 14-5 in the lead.
If Junior from behind can find one.
Just the USP, though, isn't it? gonna have to get multiple shots before anyone reacts. Hold on a second. Junior, a snake in the grass. He spots all 4 players. Information relayed, but he was too patient. He was too kind, too merciful. And they will devour him post-haste. The only good news is they know where all 4 players are, so it makes Floppy's position that little bit more comfortable to pull this round off. But Shox will shut him down, and the one rifle they had by their side goes with him. USP and Deagle. Liquid looking like they're going to get a 10-round lead. Oh, and Junior must be devastated. That's the other side of the coin. We saw earlier OC's patience paid off so well for his teammates. Sometimes try not to get too creative, too smart with it. Just take the kills that you can get.
Gone the way of Complexity, but a couple of clutches hadn't gone the way of Liquid. But this time around on Vertigo, sure, they're having a few stumbles, but apart from that, they have been looking good. That being said, though, great hold here from Junior and Grim. As OC at least able to trade, he knows there's another player nearby. As Leash going for a wild spray on top of the smoke, trying to find something. The flash is good, but Floppy snuck on in, but I think they know where he is. Floppy able to find one. Shock spins around and trades, but Grim is good enough to dispatch of him. The 1v3 for OC.
He's got just shy of a minute left. Clock is in his favor, but Grim's position with the flash preceding the peak.
Mac 10 in the hands of Nitro, going to be leading the charge. The B defenders, they're getting kind of trapped or pinned down, as it is going to be Napla comes running out, but Grim holding down the fort, finds 4, and it's all on Shox now. 1 versus 4, able to take down JT, but now position compromised. Bomb dropped on the B bomb site.
But he'll always fancy himself a chance to potentially clutch this round out, but Fang on the off angle catches him off guard. Now throwing some counteractive ones in. Fang's getting up close. Slight gap in the smoke allows JT to peer down, but the flash will force him away. Flash does so much, though, in favor of Complexity as Fang capitalizes 2 quick-fire kills. OC's dropped down to a measly 8 HP and goes re-peeking into JT's crosshair. It's all coming apart at the seams for Liquid. They've been battered again.
I'm not too sure why OC went for that peek when trying to inflict as much damage as he can, because this round is pretty much nigh unwinnable, and he will be taken down by Floppy. Getting close, getting...
That may have been his last chance to dance at this major. Antwerp may be in the rear-view mirror shortly for Complexity, unless Grim, Fang, or Floppy can find it within themselves. There is a flank coming in. As Floppy's trying to get round the back, he's going to have multiple avenues to come in. 2 kills. That might be good enough. A target-rich environment, and he puts down 2. 40 seconds still to play with, though. A healthy OC, a healthy Nitro. Smoke comes up and over. It won't affect either of these defenders, though. It's more shallow. Same with the Molotov. Good crosshair placement on Fang will yield the first frag, and OC's missed his shot. Lands on the second time of asking. We'll never expect both players to be over on side, and that will prove to be his downfall. Complexity, though, now against the half-buy. Now with a real chance to close the gap, close the noose, and Floppy decides that he's going to get up close and personal. He wants to take the fight to Liquid, and he's panning his stats up to 24. Nafto with the Tech 9. Hold the phone for a second. Surely this isn't doable. 16 HP becomes 0, and Fang tends to agree. He said that everything resets at OT, but the mental anguish and the tilt certainly won't if Liquid let it get that far, so they're going to try and push in here and not allow that to take shape. First kill onto Junior. Once again is the first player to fall. Now Shox has gone from strength to strength, but it's that man again. It's Floppy, but he's been dethroned, capitulated. The marriage on the site has been annulled, and now Liquid are looking good to take this match and make it theirs. But Fang still has a couple frags in his pocket. Fang goes in for more. Suddenly down to Elige. This was a 2-on-4. And suddenly now Complexity have this in the palm of their hand. Elige needs to land some massive frags, and Complexity refuse to lose. They keep themselves alive again.
Sure, they have max loss bonus, but it's just going to be some upgraded, maybe a Galil, maybe some pistols coming out, and that means Complexity can easily get to round number 14. But that being said, Elige, he will find JT. So despite the players being so very low, they're going to find the headshot. Shock finds Fang, and Junior replies back.
Can Complexity pull the rabbit out the hat again? It's not looking good. Nafly cauterizing the rest of the map. They can now focus their attention on the site in tandem with the bomb. Half of that fuse now remains. 4 players on Complexity. Yes, OC is low, but their positions are so deep, so passive. There's a flank element coming in, and it's Shox and Nafly to get it done. Complexity eliminated, and Liquid go 2-2.